What is going on, people of YouTube? My name happens to be Kurtyoy. Welcome to another episode of Predict. Today is a little bit different because I've got someone on here to talk about, well, another footballing brain to talk about their predictions, so you can give you two angles today. We've got the wonderful, fantastic Dean on here. Would you like to say hello?
Hi guys, how you doing? Pleasure to be here.
We recorded a video on Dean's channel, first of all, so if you want to go and check that out, I would say there's an annotation on screen, but I usually forget, but there's definitely a link in the description, so go check that out. It would definitely be worth your time. And basically what we're going to do is the usual stuff. We're going to run through each game. I'll give my reason, but we'll also have Dean here to talk about his reasoning behind it. And first of all is Stoke versus Man City. Would you like to start us off?
Pleasure. And I think I can't see beyond an away win. I think City have got this in the bag. A couple of dodgy results, but they thrashed Hull in the week, and I expect them to take that fine form to the Britannia. So away win for me.
I have to agree wholeheartedly. I think although Stoke have looked okay and they have pushed away from that relegation sort of battle they looked like they were going to be in, for me it's got to be City. Even without the rock at the back, Vincent Kompany, I still think they'll outscore most teams in this league, and so away win for City. I'm going to go with a solid 3-1 to City for this game. And next up we have Arsenal at home to Sunderland, kicking off at the 3 o'clock games. Dean, your thoughts?
Well, again, I can't really look beyond the home win. Arsenal dropping points away at Norwich. They really need to bounce back, especially with both of us thinking City will win. Arsenal need to win to keep their title hopes alive, so home win for me here.
Yep, home win for me as well. Although Sunderland have, I suppose the word would be improved with a dodgy-ish win against Crystal Palace and only winning because Shaw Crunch got sent off against Stoke. For me, it's got to be Arsenal. I'm going to go with 4-1 for that. Mesut Ozil to be the architect of all 4 goals, and hopefully, as he's my captain in Fantasy Premier League, to give me a lot of points. I'll move on now to Manchester United versus West Ham. And for me, Man United will bore Manchester City, will bore West Ham out of this game for the simple reason they play a nice defensive football, and if they get a goal, they'll win the game. I can't see West Ham doing anything to hurt Man United, especially away from home. Dean, your thoughts?
Well, I may or may not be a West Ham fan. I'm going to go away win. I'll tell you why I'm going to go away win. Because West Ham are the only side to have won at the Etihad, at Anfield and at the Emirates this season. They turn up in the big games, and I think Man United have been poor. They might go out of Europe, struggling to score goals, fans chanting attack, and I think West Ham will come here and shock them. So away win for me.
I have to admit, I did forget that they won at all the big stadiums, and if they added Manchester United's scalp to that list, I would not be surprised in the slightest. Following on from that, we've got Southampton versus the struggling Villa. And personally, I can see that being another loss for Villa. They slightly improved in their 3-2 loss against Watford, but for me, Villa need the January transfer window to save them. If they don't sign the right players there, for me, they're a secured relegation target. Southampton haven't been the best. Again, they've slipped in form recently, but should grab a rather easy win against Aston Villa. Your thoughts?
Southampton home win for me, and I think they'll keep a clean sheet as well because they just lost 6-1 to Liverpool at home.
Yeah, I did
got
see
to bounce
that.
back. I think we won a massive performance from his players against bottom of the league, 3-0, 4-0 easily. We saw what they did to Sunderland last year when they scored 8, so home win for me.
Yep, I'm agreeing with you with that one as well. Following on from that, we've got a struggling Swansea and a really in-form Leicester. Let's put it out there, I think Jamie Vardy's going to score, and I think if I bet my house on it, I wouldn't lose my house. But Swansea have been struggling, and I think if they lose the next, or if they don't win the next few games, they could A, be without Gary Monk at the helm, and B, could be in a delicate position in regarding their Premier League future. And a game against Leicester is not going to help. But for me, I can see this as being a 2-2 draw to both of them. I was about to say to Swansea, but 2-2 draw for me, just because I think Swansea will bounce back. Hopefully Gomez scoring for the first time since he scored 4 in a row at the start of the season. But Jamie Vardy grabbing both of them for Leicester. Your thoughts?
I think Leicester are going to win this one. I just think they're at the pinnacle of their careers, really, all these footballers. It's December. and they're pretty much top of the league. And they've beaten so many teams this season. I just can't see them dropping any points at the Liberty Stadium. And it's a struggling Swansea. I've missed the days of Ayew and Gomes just scoring for fun.
Yeah.
I think Mahrez is going to hopefully get on the score sheet for me because he's in my team. And I think Vardy's going to score as well. So I think Leicester are going to win this one in Wales.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, but I feel like Swansea hopefully will fight back, although it is only hope. Moving on from that, we've got Watford against Norwich. Now, again, Norwich started off the season well, as I tipped them to be quite far up the table when it comes to the end of the season, but they've slipped. They don't seem to be improving. And coming up against Watford, I feel like this could be an easy 2-0, 3-0 win to Watford. They're in form, but one thing to note is that Watford have had 3 different goal scorers this season. If I told you one of them was Alman Abdi, I think everyone could guess the other 2. So 2-0 or 3-0. Let's go with 2-0 to Watford for me, and I'll ask you your thoughts again.
I don't suppose there'd be Deeney and Igalo by any chance.
I don't know how you got it, but that's 100% correct.
Interesting one here. I think it's going to be a draw. And I'll tell you why I think it's going to be a draw. I think Norwich are very, very proud of their draw against Arsenal, in which they probably deserve to win that game. So they'll be taking some fine form into this game. And Watford are going to be without Gomez in goal. He got a very serious injury. And the Lithuanian number 1 is going to be their goalkeeper. And I think Norwich will look to exploit that. I think they'll go 2 up front. I think it'll be a score draw because hopefully Igalo will score, but I just think Watford's goalkeeper isn't good enough for them to secure a win here.
I did forget about that Gomez injury. It did look quite serious, but I still think Watford hopefully will take it. Maybe Igalo scoring all of the goals again for fantasy Premier League reasons. And the last 3 o'clock kickoff we've got is West Brom versus Spurs. Again, a weird one. Spurs have been in fantastic form, probably. Well, if they take the draws out of that game, start pushing them into wins, they could easily be pushing for top 4, if not a title challenge. They've only lost once, and that was through an own goal at a very boring Old Trafford. So they haven't really technically. I'm classing it as being unbeaten. And coming up against a West Brom team who they seem to be, one game they'll be rock at the back, next game they'll be conceding 3 goals, as they did against Leicester, conceded 2 goals against United. I just feel like, for me, Spurs are going to have this one quite easily. 3-1 away win for me. And your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think Tottenham are going to win easily. They've been fantastic, haven't they? Dele Alli back in the team after a suspension, and Harry Kane scoring for fun at the moment. So, yeah, Tottenham away win easily.
Yeah, it's great to see the 1-season wonder becoming a 2-season wonder now.
Oh, yeah, indeed. 1.5 season wonder.
1.5 season wonder will fade away come January. But moving on to the late kickoff on the 5th of December, we've got Chelsea playing host to Bournemouth. And again, it's a weird one because if you're looking at form, or in the last game, you could say Bournemouth have a chance of producing an upset. But for me, I can see Chelsea probably squeeging out a 1-0 win in this one. They do not look like the Chelsea of last season. It's something about them that looks completely different. Hazard isn't performing, Fabregas isn't performing, Costa isn't performing. They haven't got Eva Carniera. Everything's fallen apart for them this season. But Bournemouth do show fight, and if they do get something from this game, I won't be surprised. But I'm going with a quite boring 1-0 win to Chelsea for this game. You?
I have to agree again. I think if Chelsea don't win this game, I think that would epitomise the Premier League, the champions at home to Bournemouth. But Chelsea have to win this game, and they should win comfortably with the squad they have. Bournemouth, I would have given them, with Chelsea's form, I would have given them a chance if they had the likes of Max Gradle, Callum Wilson, Tommy Elphick fully fit. Also, Boric is injured. I think Federici's got a knock. So I think third choice Allsop's going to be in goal for Bournemouth. Chelsea should win this 5-0.
I have to admit, again, I did forget. I keep on forgetting about keeper injuries. And with that being said, they'll be looking to fire shots in, which is something they've struggled to do. Maybe playing a false 9 again may hinder them, but I could see now that they've got a reserve keeper out Bournemouth, then they've got to put Costa up front, or at least Loic Remy or Falcao or a fit striker, rather than playing a false 9. Just the one Sunday game to go on to. We've got Newcastle facing up against Klopp's Liverpool. Klopp's come in, done a pretty good job so far. Only one, I believe it's only one loss in the Premier League or in general. And Newcastle, they're in trouble. I've supported McLaren for so long. Week after week I've said he should remain in the job. but they're just not performing. They're not improving, and each week is getting worse and worse. And you can see Newcastle fans venting their frustration, and I think that is set to continue. Liverpool win this quite comfortably. Not on the scoreline that Crystal Palace gave them a 5-1 hiding, but I feel like it could be at least 3-0 to Liverpool this week. You?
I'm just going to have to look at an away win here as well, Kurt, because Newcastle have been awful. I mean, at the beginning of the season, yes, they had tough fixtures. McLaren just starting out, that 2-2 Southampton was good. They drew at Old Trafford, but I mean, the game against Leicester, they were awful. And St James's Park is going to be packed, but McLaren's under pressure. Klopp's Liverpool have just scored 6. Has to be an away win. Liverpool really now pushing for a serious place in the top 4.
Yeah, Klopp seems to be working wonders. Again, I did support Brendan Rodgers, but it looks to be quite a poor decision when you look at Klopp's form at the moment. And finish off, the last Premier League game we have is Everton versus Crystal Palace. Now, this is probably, for me, the hardest one to call, because Palace have been pretty decent so far this season. Look at them, sort of slipped off, but they're getting back into their ways at the start of the season, just a few points outside the top 5. And Everton seem to be scoring goals, but also seem to be conceding a lot of them. There's only 1 point difference between them. I'm going to go over score draw for the simple fact both teams like to score, both teams like to concede, so 2-2 for me. And last Premier League game, your thoughts?
I think I'm going to agree there. I think score draw as well, because Palace away from home have been unbelievable this calendar year. And I think Everton with that front three of Lukaku, Barkley and Deulofeu, it's just sensational really at times. I think it'll be a great game. I think we've seen past couple of seasons, this fixture's been really good. I think we're going to see the likes of, Zaha and Balassi up against Everton's resilient John Stones and Funes Mori. But yeah, score draw, I think it'll be a great game of football.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And as you know, we don't finish on the Premier League games. We've got one more game to show you. It's actually a Sunday game. So get Sky Sports, get sitting down at 1:15, because Sheffield Wednesday play host to Derby in what could be the biggest game of our season so far. We are sitting...
Massive game. Game.
It is huge. We lose this and we lose so much ground, because we're on the same amount of points as Birmingham in 6th, but we are 6 points away from 5th, so losing this, we could lose a lot of ground. Derby, a tough team to play. They're a very tough team to play. Coming off the back of the 2-0 beating we got from Stoke in the Capital One Cup, which I couldn't be sadder about after beating Arsenal 3-0 in the last round. For me, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I feel like we'll get a goal, Lucas João, to score again, but Derby are too tough a team to play, and just like the whole game, we'll start off well, sort of end off hoping we don't lose, but a 1-1 draw, I think, for me, is fair enough. And last game, your thoughts?
Well, obviously I'm not fantastic at the Championship, but I think away win, purely because I think Paul Clement knows what he's doing. He's building a good team there at Derby, who somehow McLaren should have taken him to the Premier League. He hasn't. They go into the game doing well. I think ideally Derby are sort of going for the top 2 and Sheffield Wednesday sort of fighting for the playoffs if they can. But I think Derby have just got too much for Sheffield Wednesday, I'm afraid. I mean, as far as I'm aware, Mateus can score from anywhere on the field, judging by some of the stuff he's done this season. But it's going to have to be an away win. But my question for you is, could we see this fixture as a Premier League fixture next season?
Oh, I hope so. I mean, Derby do seem to be holding out pretty well. My only thoughts is that they've got to get past an unbeaten Brighton side and quite a good-looking Ita Karanka-managed Middlesbrough side. So my only fear is that they'll be sitting in 3rd come the end of the season, when hopefully we'll squeeze into the playoff places, and we'll have to play them at some point, because I don't see them I can't see them losing in the first round of the playoffs. Hopefully they'll push in to the top 2, so hopefully we'll see it as a Premier League fixture. But if we play them in the playoffs, I can't see us beating them at the moment, because we haven't been able to keep a fully fit side. Every game we go into, we've been 2 or 3 players down. We are 2 or 3 players down now. We've got quite a few key players out, but luckily we've got a big squad. Hopefully that'll come into our favour. But I think we're not ready for the Premier League. If we go up, all on it. But this is the first season we've had money, so we've signed players that are, sort of this sort of level to sort of push towards the Premier League, but we're not at the sort of level to be in the Premier League at the moment. So that's where I'm going to go with that question. Unfortunately, I'm sitting well and truly on the fence with that. But nevertheless,
Well, you're being honest. You're being honest, and honesty is the best policy. Let's see if Carlos Carvalhal's Barmy Army? Is that what they call it?
Carlos Carvalhal's Barmy Army.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for watching nonetheless. Like I say, we recorded a video on Dean's channel. If you do not check it out, I'll be very disappointed, because it's a great watch. It'll help you with Fantasy Premier League needs. If you are struggling with Fantasy Premier League team and want a few pointers from myself and Dean, then go and check out that video. It'll be worth your while. There's some decent tips on there. But thank you guys for watching nonetheless. If you like this video, then leave a like. Then we think in the comments down below, and subscribe if you feel like I'm worthy. As I'll say again for the last time, check out the video on Dean's channel, subscribe to his channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Any last words, Dean?
Thanks for having us on, and if you're watching this video and haven't subscribed to Kurt, make sure you do, because he's fantastic.
Thank you, but thank you guys for watching, and peace.